what if you have chemical sensitivity to fragrances like Airbnbs that have those things all over the place or cleaners or things like that?
I hate all those smells. You walk into a hotel room and it's just bleach or the plug-in thingy. Nightmare is the first one that comes to my mind for chemical sensitivities.
So
Um,
how would you dose something like that? Not
so
something like that. That's, I mean, Nat Mirror. How would you dose Nat Mirror?
a 30C or below, unless you just have had a lot of nightmare in your life and you know how you respond to nightmare and you need a 200 and that's perfectly fine. But I also think it could depend on how, I think I would also look at what does it look like in that person. So when I walk into a room or a place with with those plug-in things and all the scents, I actually get angry.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so then I would probably take Nux Vomica because Nux
Okay.
Vomica has a high hypersensitivity to smells, and then it also
Irritability.
angry. If it makes you feel sick or dizzy, then maybe something what would be what
Cocculus is good for dizzy
that's true.
and nausea.
Yep.
What about a headache? Maybe
Uh,
Nat Mirror and that.
a headache from the chemicals, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a good one.
And
Maybe
so that how or dosing would also depend on maybe how severe. So maybe you do it a couple times a day for the first couple days and then just kind of wait and see how you feel.
so we meet the intensity of the condition with the frequency of dosing. So if it's really bad, like it's disrupting your vacation, you might take it every couple of hours.
Okay. Okay, what about you kind of brought it up too, that irritability. So I'm thinking of like my kids just being out of the norm, maybe get irritable or grumpy.
So I think Nux has a lot of irritability and grumpiness. What else? Can you think of
Oh,
anything?
chamomilla. What about chamomilla?
Yeah,
Like a
when that
big grumpy kid.
yeah, angry. Oh yeah, and then pulsatilla for the weepy, whiny, clingy kid because they're out of their norm and everything's different. They want to be at home in their bed. Also, pulsatilla has homesickness.
I was gonna ask homesickness next. Pulsatilla. Is there anything else or just pulsatilla? Would you start there?
Definitely start there.
Okay. I think the last one I have is I've actually seen this fairly frequently recently. People going to Mexico and coming back with like H. pylori type deal, like gut something terrible in their gut, or just diarrhea for weeks after that. I know arsenicum album you mentioned for diarrhea. Is that what you would probably use too for like if you drank bad water or when you come home from traveling and have prolonged diarrhea?
I would definitely do, yes, arsenicum if there's prolonged. I would start there. It might not, that might not be the remedy,
Okay.
but but China can also be helpful for when there's been a lot, and it can help build up your energy.
I know we have stuff like the typical first aid things, like an allergic reaction, you want apis on hand. If you start coming down with something, aconite and bryonia, or we like belladonna and gelsemium. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Just motion sickness. We did a whole podcast on motion sickness, so go listen to that one. Oh, ears popping when you fly. Calimere. Calimere is going to be the biggest
Like,
one.
would you take that if your ear just can't go back?
Right. It gets stuffy or you're right.
Yeah.
And there's a Banerjee protocol, travel sickness. It's on page 122 in the book. And of course, Tabacum is there, and that's in our motion sickness one. But it also says for air sickness, particularly when the ear is blocked, take Sanguinaria 200C, 1 dose before boarding an aircraft, followed by Pulsatilla 30C, 1 dose if there's any disturbance in the air. So that's interesting. But Dr. Murphy taught me, clogged, like a clogged ear or that, that
Mhm.
won't, whatever, Calimere.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
about
a
to
lot of
go
good
on a
reading.
trip, so I'm going to make sure I have all those things. I'm going to bring
Yeah.
you along, so I will have them.
Usually all of these remedies we talked about are in a regular kit.